Hello, ladies. Hello. And I want to welcome everyone to today's session. It is a hot day here in Savannah, Georgia, and I know it's hot in Texas too. Denise and I already talked about that.
Yes,
She looked
yes.
like she's in the mountains where it's cooler, but that's an illusion. It's not true. It's not true. So today, what are we talking about? We're talking about the quality of our food. So at the Q&A earlier this month, we went into the nutrition facts and the ingredients on the food labels, and we learned a lot, right? So
Yes.
today we're just going to take that a little bit further and talk about the quality of our food because in the world today, with all the endless possibilities with food, it's critical for us to understand what's in our food. How was it produced? How did the animals live? That's really important in order to make sure that we're getting high quality food. If we are having issues with our hormones being unbalanced, if we're in menopause, it becomes even more critical at that point for us because some of the things they put in our food will really disrupt your normal hormone balance. And that is a fact. So, we're going to dive into this by talking about some of my main ones: meat, eggs, oil, and then we're going to get into what's organic. What does it really mean? Does it really matter if your food is organic? Okay. So when we discuss food quality, I'm not just talking about the nutritional content of the food. I'm talking about the exposure to pesticides and the presence of harmful additives and preservatives in the food. Organic food, for example, they grow it without the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, making the food a healthier and cleaner option for us. Okay. But sometimes you don't have to go organic. Like, for example, with the pineapple or banana, it doesn't necessarily need to be organic because of the skin on the fruit protects it. But something like a strawberry, ladies, strawberries are dangerous. They need to be organic. Think of how a strawberry is kind of almost spongy like. It literally soaks up the pesticide. So you can wash it all you want. You can never wash up what's already been absorbed by that strawberry. So strawberries are probably one of the dirtiest. There's a list. There's a group that puts out a list every year, the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. You may have heard me talk about that list before. Always use that list, get the updated list every single year, and just maybe screenshot it, keep it on your phone so that when you grocery shop, you'll know which ones are okay to get non-organic and which ones you really need to stick to with regards to the organic option. All right. Without further ado, I am going to get into the very first one, which is meat. Let's see here. And I have a video that we're going to watch with Dr. Berg in just a minute here. Now, why should we choose organic meat? So you have your conventional meat, you have all these terms, pasture raised, organic, and then you may have seen 100% grass fed, and then you may have seen grass fed, grass finished. It all means something, okay? It all means something. Now let's just talk about why I choose organic because organic is going to really mean that the quality of the food that the animal was fed is going to be a little better. Okay, organic allows people to benefit more from the nutritional profile of the meat because it's going to avoid the potential hazards, the potential hazardous compounds found in the pesticides. So there are unique regulations and everything that strictly these farmers have to abide by these regulations to ensure that the food that they're producing, if they're saying it's organic, then indeed there are guidelines that they have to follow to make sure that the food is indeed organic. The main difference between organic meat and conventional meat is basically related to what the animal is fed and how they lived, how did they spend their time, and how they were treated when they got sick. Okay? Because the animals will get sick. Is the farmer giving them some type of antibiotic? What is he giving them? Because again, if that animal is taking in an antibiotic, guess what? When you eat meat from that animal, you're getting the antibiotics that the animal was fed. Okay? So meat can be, of course, a great source of protein, fat, iron, vitamin D, all these wonderful things. But not all meat is created equal. All right, so organic meat like beef, lamb, goat can contain some of the really good omega-3 fatty acids, a little less on the cholesterol, and more antioxidants than non-organic meat. And it's really hard to wrap your mind around that. But just think about if the animal lived a healthy life and was fed a healthy diet, with the pesticides and herbicides and everything removed, antibiotics removed, the meat from that animal is going to be nutritionally, it's just going to be better for you. Okay. So organic meat has an improved nutritional profile altogether. Altogether, it avoids all the pesticides, the residues. It does not contain antibiotic bacteria, resistant bacteria, and they're banned from the use of using growth promoters with the animal. They can't use uh, whatever it is that they feed to the animal to make the cow or whatever fat and bigger. Have you all seen a drumstick? A chicken drumstick, and you look at it and you're like, okay, this isn't normal. A chicken drumstick should not be this big. That is a big red flag. Okay, that's a big red flag that that chicken had something to make it grow like that, some type of growth promoter. Okay, organic meat, they can't do that. For organic chicken, they cannot give a chicken some type of growth promoter and or a cow a growth promoter. Okay, organic means that the environment is going to be more protected also. All right. So, conventional meat, on the other hand, has a higher omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid ratio. When you get more omega-6s in your diet than omega-3s, it can really cause oxidative stress. And you get more inflammation building up in your body. So, if you eat a hamburger from just a regular hamburger joint and they're using conventional hamburger meat, then that omega-6 ratio in that meat is going to be higher than the omega-3 ratio. So it could potentially cause some aches and pains, and you're wondering why, your joints are hurting. Inflammation can be something that you get from the food that you eat. Conventional meat is also most likely to be contaminated with antibiotic resistant bacteria. Conventional meat may contain added hormones, which are going to disrupt your body's hormonal balance. Okay, so if you're eating added hormones from meat from a cow or a chicken or whatever, um, your hormones are going to be starting to get a little out of whack. Actually, when you think about it, it makes sense. You're taking in hormones from an animal, it's going to mess up your hormonal balance. Conventional meat may also increase your risk of health problems, including cancer. Okay. The farming practices can be very harmful for conventional meat because they're not held to the higher standard that organic farmers are held to. And some of the animals are not allowed to live outside, like an animal is supposed to live outside. Cows should be outside grazing. They should be in the sun. They should be eating grass. They should be free. They should not be in a barn in a very tight, confined space for the entirety of their life. That's not how a cow is supposed to live. And if you're eating meat from a cow like that, then yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Meat in America is pretty much demonized. I won't say most, I will say there is a large amount of doctors and scientists that say, hey, get off of meat, go plant-based. And the reason they're saying that is because if you think about everything that I just said about conventional meat, yeah, I'd say the same thing. Get off of meat and go plant-based. However, if you're eating high quality meat from organic sources, grass-fed sources, that's completely different. Completely different. So let's watch a quick video that is going to explain it a little bit better than what I could. My favorite doctor, Dr. Berg. Let me get the video queued up and I will be sharing my screen with you in just a moment. Okay, let's share. I'm going to remember to check my boxes this time. Denise, I always forget to check those boxes. Let's see.
To share sound
Grass-fed.
viewing.
I got the sound and the video sharing. Yes. All right.
So I have a question for you. Which is better, grass-fed or organic?
We good on sound?
Let's say you're at the grocery store
Perfect.
and they don't have grass-fed and organic together. You see your eggs, it might say pasture raised, which is basically out there in the grass. And then, but it doesn't say organic. And then another one says organic. Which one would you pick? Or let's say, for example, you're buying beef and there's grass-fed and there's organic, but there's not a product that says grass-fed and organic. Which one are you going to pick? That's what we want to talk about. Now, when you buy beef that's grass-fed, you have to realize there's no legal definition of grass-fed. So you don't know how long that cow has been fed grass. It could be several months, it could be a year, you don't know. What's more important than grass-fed is it grass-finished, okay? Because if it doesn't say grass-finished, it's going to be grain-finished. Now, the difference between a cow that's been fed grains versus grass is quite significant, especially in the omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. So omega-6 fatty acids are the ones that tend to be more inflammatory. Omega-3 fatty acids are more anti-inflammatory. And grain-fed beef has about a 20-to-1 ratio, very, very heavy on the omega-6 fatty acids, versus the grass-fed beef is like a 2-to-1. So it's a better ratio. And then we have something called CLA, which is really good for the heart, for energy, and it's even anti-cancer. And it's 2 to 3 times more in the grass-fed. The grass-fed beef also has a lot more vitamin A, a lot more vitamin E, 2 to 4 times more. And so that's grass-fed. Let's talk about organic. When something says it's 100% certified organic, it's 100%. If something says it's just organic, it's 95 to 99% organic. Now, what does organic mean? It means without pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, insecticides. Also, if something is organic, it's not going to have antibiotics or hormones or biosolids. Okay? Now, if you look up the definition of a biosolid, it says nutrient-rich organic byproduct. Okay? Like, what is that? AKA sewage sludge. Yes, they feed animals sewage sludge. There's a real interesting book that I was reading on this. It's called Toxic Sludge is Good for You. This is all about the public relation industry and how they made sewage sludge sound a lot better, because biosolids really sound safe and healthy because it's a nutrient-rich organic byproduct, right? Yeah, well, they feed the animals this stuff, okay? They put it into the soils. It's also in pet food. I know, this is crazy. So this is why it's so important to start consuming organic, so you can avoid things like this right here. So in summary, ideally, you want to do grass-fed, grass-finished, 100% certified organic if you could find it. Now, there are a couple companies online that you can find this certification. I personally use a company, US Wellness Meats. I don't have any affiliation. I don't get any discounts or anything. And I really like that company because I know the farm practices that they do. The soils are really healthy. And the grass that the cows eat are super healthy. And I know the cows live to like 30 months. Typical factory farm cow would live about 14 months. Okay, so basically double because it's hard to fatten a cow on grass. So you just have to extend the life. And this is why they do the grain finished, because the grains actually can fatten the cattle. So finished means they can add some additional product to fatten them for about 4 months. Okay. So if you're going to actually grass finish, it could take like 10 months, a lot longer. Anyway, I thought this was an important topic to just differentiate between these different terms. All right, thanks for watching. So if you want more knowledge on how to create a healthy
Mind blowing, isn't it? Isn't it?
Mm.
The food industry is very tricky, ladies. Um, Organic versus 100% organic. Same thing with grass-fed versus 100% grass-fed, or they can say grass-fed, grass-finished. If it just says grass-fed, that means the cow ate some grass, but the last couple of months of its life, it ate grain. Tricky, very tricky. And that's why we're going through this information today, because having this information will empower you to make good choices when you're grocery shopping for your food. And when you're trying to get healthy, um, and does it cost more? It does. It does. It definitely will cost more. But isn't that the way the system is set up? Shouldn't that be what we expect? Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And I always say either you pay the price up front here now or pay it at the doctor's office. I mean, either way, you're going to pay. So why not go ahead and make the better choice now and try to, live a healthier, more balanced life based off of those good decisions that you're making.
Mhm.
So, any questions about meat or
After,
comments,
after
I would
this, I have a
say?
Bible study.
Okay,
7.
Sharon, you have to go.
I'm really
So
hungry.
thank
I
you
don't know
for
what we're at.
jumping on. I appreciate it. Catch the recording later, okay? Did she hear me? I don't know if she heard me. But
Okay.
anyway,
She turned the
anyone that has to go, you can catch the recording later, ladies. You don't have to explain. Trust me, I get it. I totally get it. That's why I record these sessions. But does anyone have any comments about what you just learned before we move on to the next topic? Aren't you mad? Don't you feel like you've been
It's
bamboozled?
it's a great explanation. I mean, I didn't really know the difference between the two, so it's really helpful to know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's obvious. It makes sense that,
Mm-hmm.
if there's no legal definition for grass fed, they could be fed grass for one day and then the rest of it be not grass fed. So that makes sense.
It's
That's
so
helpful.
But also, so
tricky.
in addition to that, there's no wonder that we have an epidemic of obesity in this country
Uh-huh. That's
with
right.
all of these additives and things that we don't even know are there.
That's right.
That's
Cancer
making
is on the
everybody
rise.
from children
Mm-hmm.
are now obese.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes me mad, literally. Like I just get mad about it. And when I go grocery shopping, I don't know, I hope I don't get in trouble one day, but I usually stop people in the store and I ask them, do you know what's in that, in that package there that you just put into your cart? I'm always talking to people in the store. I can't help it because I'm very passionate about it and I want to help people. And I've actually had some people switch out some things based on my conversation with them in the store because people just don't know.
You
They
don't
don't
know.
know,
Mhm.
So sadly, that's just the world we live in, ladies, but you all are being informed. So that's
Mhm.
meat. Now let's move on. Let's just briefly talk about eggs because I put a video in the group chat about eggs. Eggs are tricky too. Okay, all the different marketing terms. with eggs, caged free, vegetarian fed, pasture raised, range free, organic. What does it all mean? Watch that video as many times as you like in order to really get a good understanding of the terms, okay? Just really quickly, I'm gonna show you a picture because let's see. I'm sure all of you have cracked open an egg and seen this, the difference in the color of the yolk. Okay, you all seeing that? So I remember when I first started doing this and I bought pasture raised eggs for the first time and I saw that bright neon orange. I said, oh my God, something's wrong with this thing. Because I was so used to seeing the dull yellow grain fed yolk. Okay. But there is a huge difference. And once you get used to seeing that neon orange, that's what you look for every single time. Your eggs should look like this, the far left. Outdoor, raised on a natural diet of seeds, grass, and insects. That's what chickens do. That's what they eat. So this middle one here, the nutritional profile of this is going to be weak. Okay. You're not getting all the good stuff that you're getting in this one right here. And then this one right here is not as bad. The one on the far right, not as bad, but still, inferior to the pasture raised. So just, keep in mind with eggs that pasture raised organic is superior. That is the top quality egg. Right under that would be just plain pasture raised. And then under that, I'd go just organic. Everything else is just not even really worth your time. The best prices I've found so far for the high quality eggs, Aldi and Walmart have the best price. Every place else is going to cost you $12 for 12 pasture raised eggs.
I have a question.
Hmm.
So you spoke about the yolk.
Hmm.
What about the white, the egg
Well,
white?
people always examine just the yolk because the white never has a color. It
I
and
know,
and all of the nutrition is in the yolk. Okay?
but I can't have the yolk. So I'm
Right.
eating egg white. So does it matter what
It
egg I
does.
buy or
It
just the egg
does.
white? Okay.
It
That's
still matters. It still matters.
okay.
I would say you have to think of the egg as a whole. Think
Okay.
of it as a whole, even though we separate the white and the yolks or whatever, but think of it as a whole. The nutritional
Okay.
profile is going to affect the whole shebang.
Okay.
Now, Denise, I haven't been able to find pasture-raised egg whites. I
No,
haven't.
what I use the Vital, I boil them
Hmm.
and then I separate them myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If
I
you
don't
find liquid pasture-raised whites, let me know. I haven't been able to find that.
I haven't either. So I just been doing that.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So we clear on eggs. We know that eggs across the board, there's just too many choices in the store. And don't get tricked by, oh, it's vegetarian fed. That means nothing. It's a GMO vegetarian feed that they're giving to this chicken. So don't even fall for that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move on to oils. And this is one of my favorites to talk about, cooking oils, because cooking oils are also very tricky. There's a lot of marketing terms that are used. Now, the different types of oil, we got soybean, we got canola, corn, sunflower, vegetable, peanut, safflower, it goes on and on, avocado, coconut, goes on and on, right? These oils have different nutritional properties in them. And so when you're thinking about the healthiest, The healthiest is going to be avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Now there are a couple of others, okay? There are a couple of others, but I'm naming the main ones, okay? Because there's like ghee, which is like a clarified butter. Um, there's beef tallow that people cook with. Those are healthy options for oils too, but it's not typical for someone to use a beef tallow to cook with. Um, so let's just stick with the basic ones. Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Okay, those three. Um, when you're in the grocery store and you're on the aisle for all the oils, you got all these brands. You got Crisco, you got the store-bought brand, you got Chosen, and all these different brands. Okay. And then you have all the different terminologies: refined, unrefined, cold press, expeller press. What does it all mean? What does it mean? So I'm going to tell you what each term means, but I do not want you to get bombarded with trying to remember all of that. What I want you to remember is the healthy one to go for, okay? And that's going to be cold press or expeller press. Those are the two that you want to go for.
Yes.
Cold press or expeller press, okay? Organic is also good, but cold press, expeller press, those are the two. And now we'll talk about them all. And the reason why I don't want you to get bombarded with learning what each one means and being overly concerned with what does unrefined mean? What does refined mean? Because if you were an FBI agent and you were tasked with running down some criminals to figure out how they are creating this counterfeit money, and you have to be skilled at knowing counterfeit money. Do you know how many different types of counterfeit money there would be, or the different methods? And it would be too much. Wouldn't it be smarter to just study real money and become an expert at the real deal so that when something fake comes along, you would spot it immediately? And that's what I want for you all to do. Don't get bombarded with trying to figure out all the fakes. Just know the real deal stuff, the healthy stuff that you should go after when you're shopping. And that way you're never tricked in the grocery store because you know which ones are really the healthy ones. So with that said, let's just talk about some of the terms. So refined versus unrefined cooking oils. So highly refined oils have a uniform appearance. They tend to be a lot lighter in color. You can typically see straight through it, and they're pretty much less expensive, pretty cheap. Some refined oils are extracted using chemical solvents, and they're processed at extremely high temperatures. And some people prefer refined oils because they tend to have a higher smoke point than unrefined oils. And this preference comes with a health risk, though, as these refined oils often are rancid and they're oxidized, which will cause oxidative stress, which will bring about inflammation. I'll give you a quick story. So one of my um, I'll say a cheat meal. It's a pizza joint here in Savannah, hop, skip, and a jump from my house. They have the best wings ever. I love their wings. They're not battered or anything. They're just deep fried, and they're using, of course, canola oil. Every single time I have those wings, oh, they taste so good going down, and I really enjoy them. But by the next day, I have all these aches and pains in my body. My joints ache, my fingers hurt. I'm constantly rubbing my hands. Everything is achy. It's inflammation from the inflammatory oils that they cooked the wings in. It happens to me every time, every single time, without fail. So, with that said, you may not have become that aware yet of how your body is reacting to some of the foods that you're taking in. But once you are really being, aware, maybe writing down a food journal and really paying attention to what goes into your body, you are going to know exactly when you eat something that you shouldn't, because your body is already responding. But when it responds, once you're aware, you'll be able to pinpoint, I can't eat that anymore because when I eat that, it's causing me a problem. So you will get to that point. So refined oils do that to me. They cause me to be really achy. Um, Now, unrefined oils undergo processing, of course, but it's minimal compared to refined oils. They are still using chemical solvents, but the oil has a cloudier appearance, might be just a tad bit darker. And they do this to try to maintain a little bit of the natural flavor and color. Um, and so unrefined oils are going to have a hair more nutrition than refined oils. And I said a hair more, not much more. These oils are going to be a little more delicate. So it might be like a really cheap olive oil brand. Okay. So it's going to be better than refined, but it's still not good. Okay. So refined and unrefined, both of them, garbage, don't want them. Okay. Now let's talk about cold press. Cold press. So this method is going to avoid all the chemical solvents to try and get the oil out. Okay, the cold press extraction method, if I could talk here, it retains the nutrients within the oil. So they don't use any heat to pull the oil out. Now we have the other one, expeller press, same. They're not using any chemical solvents. They use a mechanical pressing process to extract the oil. And again, no chemicals or solvents used with this method either. So again, this one is going to retain the natural flavor, the aroma, the nutritional benefits within the oil, all are preserved with this method. So cold press, expeller press, good to go. Both of those methods are good to go anytime you see them. And usually when you see those two, your price is going to be a lot higher.
Mhm.
So the main difference in expeller press and cold press lies in the temperature that the oil is extracted. So both methods are mechanical, where they're pressing to extract the oil. But the key distinction is the temperature. So cold press oils are extracted without any heat at all, whereas the expeller press may have a little heat. Okay. But it's not going to be high heat like they use with the refined and the unrefined. It's still going to be low enough in heat to uh, preserve the natural qualities of the oil. So again, don't be too bombarded or overly concerned about, um, you know, remembering all of the different terms. Just know that cold press and expeller pressed oils are going to be the better route to take. Coconut oil, you may see virgin, unrefined, organic, coconut oil. That's usually, going to be probably the better coconut oil. Um, Canola oil, sunflower oil. I don't ever buy any of those, even if they say organic or whatever, because it's just not a good quality oil because of the high omega-6 fatty acid content. You heard what Dr. Berg said about omega-6s, they're inflammatory. It's going to promote inflammation within your body, and that is critical. Inflammation causes disruption. It is the beginning of disease. So, I'm very disturbed when I see heart healthy on canola oil. That's disturbing to me. What is heart healthy about an oil that's high in omega-6? Seriously? So be cautious about the marketing terms. Don't rely on that at all. Okay? Do not rely on that. Once you find a brand of oil that's fitting the description of healthy for you, stick with that. Don't bounce around buying all these different brands because then you really need to be familiar with all the marketing terms that they use. Okay. Now, let's see. I had a video on that one, but I am not going to show that because it's too long. So we're going to move on to my last little section here, which is going to expound a little bit more on the term organic. And the term organic, I have a video from, let's see. Yeah, this is a short video. I think this one is like less than 6 minutes. And it will explain a little bit more about that term. So let's just get that one up and going. And then I will take questions from you all. All right. Well, actually, it's 2 minutes, so that's even better.
Bro, this asparagus is like totally organic, coming from the earth, like the ground, man. Mother Nature, bro. It like flows through my soul. On this video, we will be covering organic food, what does organic mean, and answering the question of is organic food healthier? At the end, we're going to discuss what foods are the most important to eat organic. Let's get started by answering the question of what does organic mean? Organic food is food produced with the standards of organic farming. Standards vary worldwide, but they generally mean food produced without the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. Animal products only qualify as organic if they do not take antibiotics or hormones during their development. Now I should clarify, pesticides can be used by organic farmers on crops, just as long as they are derived from natural sources and are not synthetically created, which seems reasonable, because mass-producing crops without any pesticides would be a nightmare with wasted food in epic proportions. So now that we know what organic food means, we can move on to discussing is organic food healthier or not. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. As my homeboys over at ASAP Science so aptly put, just because a bag of chips has organic on the label does not make them healthy. Cookies, chips, and ice cream are not suddenly good for you because they are organic. But when people ask is organic food healthier, they are usually asking for a comparison of foods like veggies, fruits, and certain animal products, which leads us to an important point. The scientific data we have is actually very split on this issue. The reason? Money, money, money. Money! There is a lot of money to be had in this industry. Monsanto, the famous poster child for evil pesticide producers, makes over $4.5 billion in yearly sales and spends an average of $5 million a year on public lobbying. And it's not just them. People have been lobbying for and against organic food for a while now. Conflicts of interest seem to be the rule and not the exception. When most people say that organic is not healthier for you, they usually cite a Stanford review done in 2012 that came to the conclusion that organic foods are not more nutritious than conventional foods. Although the study did concede that organic does limit the exposure of pesticides and antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Unfortunately, the people doing this study received millions of dollars from Cargill, which has been linked to Monsanto, the pesticide company we just talked about. So that's a little weird. A new study published by the British Journal of Nutrition is the latest addition to the debate. It's the largest meta-analysis that has been published on this topic, covering 343 individual studies looking into organic food. One of the major conclusions found organic foods could boost a person's antioxidant intake by up to 40%. However, this study was funded by an organic farming charity. See what I mean about conflicts of interest? One thing in favor of eating organic that these studies cannot refute is reducing the amount of pesticides being ingested. On average, pesticides like cadmium had levels 400% lower, respectively, in organic produce than in conventional varieties. Since cadmium is a highly toxic metal that has been linked to an increased risk of everything from Alzheimer's disease, cardiovascular disease, and hormone disruption, it's probably a good idea to minimize the amount of cadmium in your diet. Other studies have also linked pesticide exposure in children to ADHD and other developmental problems like low IQ. But it's not just about us. Is organic food healthier for our planet? Unfortunately, there's no real clear-cut answer to this question. Organic farming has more fertile soil, uses less energy, and is more profitable for farmers. However, non-organic crops have higher yields and help to reduce erosion. It's a bit of a toss-up. So, health nerd, are organic foods healthier for you? I'd have to say yes. Yes, in some studies they have slightly more nutrients and do minimize our exposure to synthetic pesticides, antibiotics, and hormones added to what we eat. All things equal, organic would be healthier for you. So should everyone eat organic? It depends. Cost is an issue for many people, so if you're going to spend those hard-earned dollar bills buying organic, keep these 3 things in mind. Number 1, it seems animal products are more important to buy organic than veggies. Because prolonged exposure to both antibiotics and hormones is clearly harmful to our health, focus on organic animal products first. I know this can be expensive, so number 2, frozen organic foods are always a little cheaper. Organic fruits, veggies, and meats can usually be found in the freezer section these days. Number 3, use the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen list for fruits and veggies. Some fruits and veggies require more pesticides to grow than others. The Clean 15 are non-organic foods that have minimal pesticide exposure. Avocados, sweet corn, pineapples, cabbage, frozen sweet peas, onions, asparagus, mangoes, papayas, kiwi, eggplant, honeydew, grapefruit, cantaloupe, and cauliflower. The Dirty Dozen, on the other hand, are foods that have a lot of pesticide load if consumed non-organic. These foods are strawberries, apples, nectarines, peaches, celery, grapes, cherries, spinach, tomatoes, sweet bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, and cucumbers. My final tip is actually the most important because there's something you can do that seems to be just as good for you as eating organic, and that's eating foods in season. Foods in season have been proven to have more nutrients than out of season. For example, the vitamin C content in broccoli has been shown to be cut in half when picked out of season. So buying fruits and veggies local and in season is your best option. I'll link a good produce guide in the description so you can see which produce is in season right now. So in summary of is organic food healthier? Yes, it probably is a safer bet. Local fresh picked food is always the healthiest option. If you're balling on a budget, animal products are more important than getting veggies organic. Use the list of Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. Before you go, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and a short comment on the video, we'd really appreciate it. Every comment and like we get in our videos helps our small channel grow. Even a short comment like the Health Nerd is my Corona and lime.
All right, I think that's good enough there. We got the point. Okay, we got the point on that. So is organic healthier, ladies? Yes, it is. It is. It is. Is it more expensive? Yes,
Yes.
it is. It
Mhm.
definitely is.
Mhm.
But I mean, you can catch sales. You can base your meal prep around what's on sale. You know, you may have a taste for a particular dish or whatever, but if you're really um, balling on the budget, as he said in the video, you know, you can stick with the sales and, you know, get your organics because sometimes you can find buy one, get one free. Organic blueberries, I got some the other day. Um, you know, you just have to shop smarter. That's all. Okay, so basically, the food we eat directly influences our health, period. Period. There is a period at the end of that sentence. Okay, so when we consume foods that are laden with pesticides, growth hormones, and antibiotics, it will disrupt your system. It's going to cause hormonal imbalances, various health issues. It's going to make it harder to lose weight. Um, it can even create mood swings. Did y'all know that? Because it's messing with your hormones. And also, it can disrupt your reproductive system. Okay, a lot of women are struggling to get pregnant, have babies. Got to look at the food that you're eating. And then on the other hand, we have the healthier options, choosing healthy, high quality food like organic produce, grass-fed, grass-finished meats. You know, it's going to reduce your exposure to harmful chemicals and pesticides and antibiotics. And by all means, ladies, just use the knowledge that you've obtained here today to make wise choices when you're shopping, thinking about all the different things, your budget. Some of you are feeding families, it's not just you. So you have to consider all those things, weigh all those things, and just make good choices for you and for your families. Okay, so that's all that I have. I am going to allow some time for you all to ask any questions. And if your question isn't based on what we just reviewed today, that's fine too. Um, or either any comments if you want to share, maybe some success, or maybe there was a challenge in your week that you would like to share. Whatever it is, go for it. I'm all ears. What you got? Denise, I know you got something.
See, she always does that to me. A question was asked of me that I don't know what your recommendation is. Cereal. Do you have a cereal that is Coach Tay approved?
I do. Um, Cereal is so dangerous. When I said cereal, Siri on my phone lit up. I didn't say Siri, I
Mine did
said
too.
cereal.
What do you want to know about Coach Tay? What?
Oh my goodness. So there are a couple of cereals. They are pretty much going to be in the keto realm, okay? Because that means it's going to remove grains and it's going to remove sugar. Okay, but you still got to read the food label. I did a video a while back on two that I bought from Costco. I really can't even think of the name brand right now, but I can follow back up with that and maybe put it in the group chat, okay?
Thank you.
Let me write a note real quick. All right, that was a good question. And also, if any of you have the recipe for the granola, that makes a great cereal. I eat it as a cereal every now and then. Oh man, it's addictive with almond milk. Oh, it's so good. So you can always
It's
use
very
the
good.
granola.
It's very good.
Yes, that makes a great cereal. Any other questions or comments? Everybody hanging in there and doing well in their program? All right, all right. I am looking forward to hearing some success stories really soon. We're going to be sharing Denise's story soon with the group. I look forward to doing that with you all in the next week or so. Denise, we should be ready in about a week, right?
Yes, that should give me enough time.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm going to do that periodically, ladies, is share someone's story in the group chat, those that are willing to share, because you just never know. Somebody else may see your story and it may be the very thing that they need to get them fired up and get them going. Okay? So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to share. So we are pretty much done. The August sessions have not been scheduled just yet. August is already starting to get full though, already. So I will be setting up those sessions soon, our Q&A, and then our final, um, our coaching session for the month of August. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay. If y'all don't have anything else, nothing else?
Coach,
Uh,
Yes,
quick
okay.
Jennifer.
question.
hmm
Hi.
Hi,
Um,
Jennifer.
Hello. I have a question about Celtic sea salt.
Yes.
I've had some people telling me that it was a very popular salt years ago,
Uh-huh.
but here lately they have been saying that there's been found lead and mercury, high amounts of lead and mercury in
I have
it.
not heard that. Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Oh,
Um, are these valid sources as far as where this information is coming from? Because I hadn't heard anything.
okay, well, I thought maybe he calls himself a naturalite. His
hmm
name is Jabaz. I've been following him some on Facebook.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know him. I will say this. I'm really, really picky about my sources as far as information. And when someone presents something, I like to see some proof. So did he pick that up off the news? Was there something written? Did he post a link where you can go read about it yourself to prove
He
it
did
to
not.
yourself? So, when people just say things, and I'm like, mm-hmm. show me the money, show me the facts. Send me a link, give me a study or something. But I hadn't heard that. So I'm not discrediting what he said. I hadn't heard that. Um, I'd like to maybe look into that one. Maybe you should look into that one.
Okay.
And for those of you who don't know about Celtic sea salt, it is the salt that I recommend. Celtic is unrefined, it's mineral rich, it's harvested in France. And it is literally rich in all the minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, and it's lower in sodium. So it's going to improve your electrolyte balance and it supports digestion. And that's why I recommend it. That one and Redmond's is another brand that I recommend. So,
Thank you.
not
I
saying
have
that
both of those.
these brands, sometimes somebody will come in and buy the company and then they start changing the standards of the brand. That's what happened with Bragg's.
Yes.
Apple cider vinegar. It was
Mhm.
sold, somebody else came and bought it, and they started watering down the apple cider vinegar. It's not the same that it used to be. It's different now. So it can happen where people will come in and buy the company and change the standards. Um,
Mhm.
Denise?
And on that note, because a while back I couldn't find Fairchild's vinegar,
Hmm.
but now it is available. I just received my 2 bottles, so you can order it from Fairchild's direct.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my recommended brand now, Fairchild.
yeah, and it's
Bragg
better. It
wants to
tastes
play
so much
games.
good, so much better. So you can get two 32-ounce bottles for $24.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
Yeah,
good.
and it was free shipping. So
Hmm.
it's available now.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
That was going to be my
Um,
Hello,
question. Was there a
hello.
specific
a
brand
Pacific.
of
Uh,
apple cider vinegar that you recommend? It's
yeah, it
Fairchild.
was Bragg's for the longest time, but now it's Fairchild. And again, that's only because Bragg's is not as they're watering it down. They're not following the same standards since they sold the company. Yeah. So Jennifer, I hope that's not the case with the Celtic sea salt. I hope not.
I hope not either, because
We'll
I
have to
use
keep
Hey,
it.
our ears peeled on that one.
okay.
Thank you
Can you
so
all
much.
hear me? Can you all hear me?
Dodie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I did a quick search on it in Google, and my question was, does Celtic salt have heavy metals?
Uh-huh.
It says yes. Like all sea salts, Celtic salt can naturally contain trace amounts of heavy metals.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. Here's why, and what you should know. Natural occurrence. Heavy metals like lead, cadmium, mercury, and arsenic are naturally found in the environment, including oceans and the Earth's crust. As seawater evaporates during salt harvesting, these naturally occurring heavy metals can become concentrated in the resulting salt crystals. So that's just a little bit. It has more
Wow.
stuff, but
Hey, that sounds like a good explanation right there.
yeah, but it's
That's
not it's not added. It's just part of nature.
It's natural. Right, right, right.
You
Okay,
know.
thank you for that, Dodie. That was
Okay.
a quick little search. Okay, that
Right.
was good. That was good. That
Yes,
was
thank
good.
you. But I'm sorry, but the rest it did say that food safety standards and regulations exist to ensure that heavy metal levels in food products remain below harmful levels. So they do. It says many reputable Celtic salt brands conduct regular testing, often including third-party testing, to ensure their products meet these standards and are compliant with regulations like the California Proposition 65, blah, 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 blah. So there you
Perfect.
have it.
I like that explanation. Thank you, Dodie. Dodie
Yeah.
did the quick
Okay.
research.
Well, you're welcome.
Awesome. That's why I love the group. Love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. That was good. That was good.
Okay.
So I feel pretty good about that explanation. What about you, Jennifer? What you think?
Yes, I appreciate that clarification. I feel really good about it because I do have my Celtic salt and I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Good.
Don't
Very
Yes,
take that
good.
away, because it really tastes good.
Yeah, I
it
like the
does.
coarse one, the really coarse
Yes,
Celtic
that's what I
salt.
have.
Yeah, I like that one.
Hmm.
I
Awesome,
sent you a
awesome.
link to my olive oil,
Yes.
because I didn't know anything about the cold press or whatever. But it turns out that mine is cold pressed from olives.
So, see, I saw your picture pop up here, and I've never seen that brand before.
The Central Market, just like that tuna.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't seen it because we don't have that store here. Okay,
Right.
cool. All right. So you've already looked into it though, so it is cold press.
What, just today, when you showed the picture, I said, well, let me check my olive oil. And yeah, it's cold pressed.
And it's organic. So hey,
Yeah.
you got double power there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Another thing about olive oil is such a delicate oil. It should be in a dark amber glass bottle. Dark
Mhm.
amber and glass.
Yeah.
Now, Costco has one, dark amber, but it's in a plastic. We don't like the plastic too much, but it is an approved oil. It's a really good oil. I just hate that they put it in plastic. I prefer it being glass.
Mhm.
Also, if you're buying or olive oil and you're wondering if it's authentic, there should be a lot number on the bottle. Okay, so let's just say you're shopping somewhere and they have this olive oil in this beautiful bottle, and you're like, oh, I wonder if this is like the real deal olive oil. It's organic, it's cold pressed, because you know they can mix other oils in there, right? And not tell us. Did y'all know that? Okay, so in
Okay.
order to know, especially if it's a company you're not used to dealing with, there should be a lot number on the bottle. Another way to help identify olive oils, a lot of companies that are authentic will give you a story of the olive story of some sort, the farming practices on the back of the bottle. They love to tell their story. So that's another thing to kind of look for if you're looking for authentic olive oil. Okay. All right. That
I've
is,
also seen olive oils in a tin bottle.
I have seen them in tin before. I do not have any specific knowledge of whether the tin is okay or if it's, not okay. I haven't looked into the tin yet. However, I would look at the olive oil itself to see if it's cold press, expeller press, is it organic? I would look at that. And does it have a lot number, maybe? But the tin can probably is better than the plastic bottle, I would think. Yeah, I would think so. All right, ladies, any last
Mhm.
minutes? Last minutes? It's 8 o'clock.
Coach, Coach, real quick, your
Yes.
Hosen burger sauce, is
Oh,
it
yeah,
only
yes.
at Costco?
I've only found it at Costco. I've seen it in some grocery stores, but boy, does it cost. It's pricey in grocery stores for a little, knocking my water over. For a little bottle, it's pretty costly, but I've seen it in Publix, I've seen it in Kroger before. I
Oh,
usually get a bigger bottle from Costco for a much better price.
okay.
And
I've
what,
been on a search for it and I haven't found it yet.
You haven't found it? Oh, I
No.
got like 4 bottles in my cabinet right now. I love that stuff. So
what
good.
are you referring to, Coach? I didn't hear.
Costco's, it's Chosen, the company, burger
Oh,
sauce.
oh, okay.
Yeah, when we talked about our favorite food products, when you were talking about your tuna,
Yeah,
Denise,
yeah, yeah.
I was showing you all my sauce that I love to use.
I remember that. I
Yes.
remember.
Yes. All right, ladies. We good? All right. I will see you
Ladies,
all next time. I will see y'all next
ladies,
time. Enjoy your evening.
Somebody
And
said, wait. Who said wait?
was
I
somebody
just
trying to
wanted
get something in?
I just wanted to give a cereal brand. It's called Lovebird.
Lovebird?
Yes, I got that information from, you remember what doctor it was? I can't remember what doctor. I can't remember, but it's a
Lovebird.
what is it? Let me see.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Start reading those ingredients for me.
Okay, I know it's grain free. Let's see.
Okay, I'm looking at it online now.
Ah,
Lovebird.
it has 6 added sugar ingredients, so
Uh-oh.
that's bad already.
Yes.
Oh, y'all.
They should call it Love Handle because
I
that's what's going to be the
know.
result of eating Love Bird.
Uh-oh.
Love handles. So if it has 6 grams of added sugar, yeah, that's
No,
too much. That's too much. So
sorry.
what else does it have? What's the carbohydrate content? What's the carbs, the total
Um,
carbs?
26 grams.
And we know 6 of that is the added sugar, but where are the other carbs coming from, I wonder?
Let's see. We have sodium 65, um, protein 1 grams. That's pretty much it, huh? Let's see. Calcium 9 grams, potassium 47.
You're looking at the nutrition facts. Let's
Okay,
ignore that and go down to the ingredients.
ingredients.
Hmm
Where's the ingredients at? Let's see. I don't think it's on this.
Yeah, it's there.
I'm trying to
Mhm.
pull it up,
See,
but
It's to the side of the box, Mom.
it's to
Like,
the side.
yeah, on
Yep.
the side of the nutrition facts, you'll see it.
Mhm.
Could you call it out because I'm looking and I can't find it. I'm on the
Buckwheat flour.
Mhm.
that's what
What
it
is it?
is. Those
Say
carbs
what's
are
Castor
coming.
underneath.
flour,
Hmm
honey, coconut sugar, coconut oil, sea salt, vanilla extract.
Yep.
Okay. So they are pretty much priding themselves on the fact that they don't have refined sugar, but they have honey, they have regular sugar, right? Is there regular sugar in there?
The coconut sugar.
Okay, so it's coconut sugar and honey. So you
Mm-hmm.
got two very high glycemic sweeteners in there. Um, 26 grams is a lot, and it's only maybe 2 grams of fiber. How much fiber is in there?
uh,
Two, 2 grams of
2 grams.
fiber.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not enough. So no, this would not be a good option. That's going to support
um,
your weight loss. It's not going to support your weight loss. Now, it's not a horrible cereal, okay? It's not horrible. I would probably give this to my granddaughter, okay? But she's not trying to lose weight, and she doesn't have any hormonal issues that she's dealing with. But for me, if I'm trying to maintain weight or lose weight, I would not eat this. The carbs are too high. It doesn't have enough fiber. And the added sugars for me are a little too high for what I'd like to take in. My limit is about 3 for me, added sugar. I like 0, but I would say about 3, and then that's it. But 6 is too high.
Diabetes. So anyway.
thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for presenting that that item. Let's see, 6 grams of added sugar. Let's see. Six grams of added sugar is about, let's see, 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. So just think about a bowl and you're dumping a teaspoon and a half of sugar in that bowl. That's too much. Yeah, that's a little too much. So that's a no to the lovebird. That's a no
Now,
to the
now,
lovebird, ladies. Got it? All right.
now, it do look like Lovebird has a 0. It might depend on which one you buy because they have one
Different ones.
that's unsweetened. It says Lovebird cereal unsweetened, and it has 0 sugars and 0 added sugars.
That would be a better option.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
And if you want to sweeten it, sprinkle a little monk fruit on it if you want to sweeten it a little bit. Okay. So yeah, that would
Okay.
be a better option. The unsweetened one. Thanks,
Right. So
Dodie.
now, of
Coach
course,
Terry.
but now it still has a
Buckwheat.
total carbohydrates of 25 grams.
Yeah.
So you don't have much to play with there. So
Right, exactly. It's still pretty high in carbs.
yeah.
If you're trying to lose weight, you want to keep your carbs low. And if that's the only carb you're having for the day, then
Yeah.
by all means, it would be fine. But if you're eating other carbs, then it's going to add up. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, ladies,
thank
I'm gonna let
you.
you all go. We are past our time, but it was great seeing all of you, and look out for the recording. I'll send the link in the group chat, okay?
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Hey,
Thank
Y'all
you.
take care.
Bye.
Ciao
bye.
for now. Roxy,
Have a good
Bye.
week.
what's up?
Good night.
Bye, good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.